It's your boy Dammit Clem here. Today we're doing One Piece chapter 872. I think it's called Soft and Fluffy. This chapter was pretty straightforward. A lot of it was just panic. So we start the chapter off with a flashback from Fishman Island where the king is basically telling the Straw Hats that box, the Tamate Bako box, has a bomb in it. We need you to give it back now. And basically, no dice. We gave it to Big Mom along with all the treasure. So the king's kind of panicking, and I think it was Luffy who may have asked, well, what are the chances that the bomb is just a dud? And the king basically tells him, yeah, that's not happening. That bomb is serious. No one should ever open that box, ever. So then we get into current time, and I'm going to kind of skip around here because I want to put this in the best chronological order that I can. But essentially, let's get the unimportant part, or the less important part, because this is all important stuff, but let's get the less important part out of the way. The townspeople. So the whole cake chateau has always been pictured as being rather large, but in this chapter it's basically shown to be so big that if it falls it could basically destroy the entire city on Whole Cake Island. It is that big, so pretty much everyone underneath that will die. And there's even a little monologue from someone saying, yeah, doesn't matter how far we run, we are not reaching the end of this cake before it's too big. We will die. Then we get to stuff happening inside the chateau. So the Vinsmokes, I believe it was Niji who recovered Judge and got him out of there. But Vinsmokes are making their escape. Straw Hat Pirates are making their escape. Fire Tank Pirates are making their escape. The Big Mom Pirates, however, are kind of more on a panicky side because a lot of them are panicking, I'm guessing either due to concern for the townspeople or concern for themselves, but either way, you see Smoothie and Brulee getting very emotional. Big Mom is very emotional. Katakuri remains kind of stoic. But yes, everybody's kind of panicking. Some of the guests are panicking. What I did notice was interesting is we have not seen Pudding in this chapter, so I'm going to go with the theory that she's stowing away on their ship, or that her and Opera are stowing away on the ship. I've had the theory about Opera for a long time, just because he seems to be more of a comedic character, and Montdor did mention he tried to save his own ass, so I figure, okay, well, he probably tried to sneak onto the Straw Hat ship and escape, if anything. But so as we go further along, we're seeing different reactions. One reaction I thought was particularly kind of funny but disappointing was the reaction of "Big news!" Morgans and Stussy, because what happens here is basically Big Morgan screams out that this is big news, but Stussy kind of she kind of goes, "Bro, don't you care about your own life?" And his response to this is, "Oh well, I guess you're right. Oh crap, I can't fly." And I was disappointed that he can't fly, because I was thinking, what other reason would there be for this guy to be a gigantic Big Bird-esque character? But hey, it was still funny nonetheless. What's interesting here is that even Big Mom gets tossed around a little bit by the cake, and she has to be saved. What, the cake's flipping over, or tipping over rather, and she has to be saved by Prometheus. What I find interesting here is I've been working on the background on the theory of how I think Big Mom can be defeated, and this did play into it, because I think she's very vulnerable, and she's a lot more vulnerable than a lot of us realize. But because everybody's kind of wrapped up in some of the feats she has so far, it would seem like it's impossible to beat her. But between last chapter and this chapter, I think we've seen a lot in terms of her weakness, and her having to be saved by Prometheus from a fall kind of confirms that, because we saw Kaido jump off a Sky Island and just get back up. Big Mom apparently can't do that, so this is very interesting. But what ends up saving the whole cake chateau, so to speak, is Streusen. So Streusen stabs the cake with his sword, and then he infuses it with sponge cake and whipped cream. And this kind of confused me a little bit, because when he was introduced in Big Mom's flashback, the Oda box said that he could create ingredients with his devil fruit. Not whole foods, ingredients. But then Prometheus kind of makes a statement. He says, oh, ingredients created, or food created, depending on the translation, created by Struzan's devil fruit doesn't taste good, but it fills your stomach and it gets the job done. So maybe that's why she didn't use his ingredients when she was making the whole wedding cake. Or maybe it's just that if he creates a whole food with his devil fruit, it won't taste good as opposed to just doing ingredients. So that's something to think about, because I think that might be Oda subtextually giving us a little bit of clarification. But then as we get further along in this chapter, what I found interesting was basically the egg, like, at this point the Straw Hats, the Fire Tank Alliance, they've all left. And Montdor actually stands up and says, "Hey, hold on guys, we gotta get back together. The Straw Hats have escaped. We gotta go after them now. They have to pay for this." So then we get this kind of somewhat funny exit scene of these guys. So the Fire Tank Pirates and the Straw Hats are kind of they're in a decent meeting place between where the Fire Tank Pirates are, or where the hideout was, and where the Straw Hats ship is. The Straw Hats ship is honestly a lot farther. So Capone kind of says, "All right, this is where we go our separate ways." He does this kind of funny gag where he's like seen like hammering in a sign, and then Sanji and Luffy look at it and it says the Straw Hat Pirates went this way, which was kind of screwed up but kind of funny. The problem that may arise for the Straw Hats is Brook and Pedro basically say, "Okay, we gotta go get the submarine so that we can go get the ship." So they're not out of the woods yet. They're still on Whole Cake Island. Now, we don't know how long it's going to take the Big Mom Pirates to actually get a hold of them, or if they will, but relatively speaking, they are not safe, they are not fine, they're in quite a predicament. So what I think is going to allow them to escape is the very end of the chapter. Because, and this both I was happy to see, but it kind of annoyed me, Big Mom finally goes into her rage mode. Here's why this annoyed me. So, she sees her Whole Cake Chateau cake destroyed, but instead she's screaming about the wedding cake. So, if the wedding cake is what upset you, why did it take you this long to go into a rage mode? Why didn't you do that earlier? But yeah, it looks like that's going to at least provide them some means of escape, unless Luffy sees her going on a rampage and goes, "Oh shit, I need to stop Big Mom before she kills all these people." But I don't know if they seem far, far away from all of that, even though they're still on the chateau. So I don't know if they're going to see Big Mom flip out and go into her rage mode, and I don't think it's going to matter that much. I think the Straw Hats are probably going to escape based solely off the fact that the Big Mom Pirates are going to have to focus solely on fixing, or not fixing, but stopping Big Mom from destroying Whole Cake Island. So it looks like Oda's editors were right. I think around chapter 859 or something like that, they said that we were about halfway done with the Whole Cake Island arc, and some 20 chapters later, a little over 20 chapters, we are pretty much seemingly out of the woods. I think we have maybe another, 2 to 5 chapters of us getting out, but I think we're pretty much there. So that's going to be it for my review today, guys. Hopefully I'll have some other videos like how Big Mom could be defeated. That might be an interesting theory / discussion. I've been talking to my Nakama, so to speak. Got some other theories that might be coming out, so keep an eye out for those. And of course, I'm sure you guys saw the little teaser for my other project, the Lapis Lazuli project. Keep an eye out. I'm gonna have some interesting stuff on this channel. But that's it for now, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, and have a great day. I'm out.